Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where we're carrying straight on from where we left off in the last episode, where we'd spent some time figuring out and getting to the bottom of exactly what it was that caused the raptors to constantly be fighting each other, and figuring out that it was actually quite predictable if you understood how the dominance trait worked. And once the raptors had sorted out who was boss, they were quite easily capable of working together to bring down even something as nasty as an Indominus Rex. And then, just for shits and giggles, we decided to throw a few more large carnivores into the mix.
Hi, I'm Claire Deering. I know it must be overwhelming to meet all these new people. Life-changing adventure. It certainly was for me. Trust me, you'll understand. There isn't a more iconic dinosaur than the T-Rex. Even people who don't know the difference between herbivore and carnivore know all about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And when you see her up close, feel her gaze, you understand why the T-Rex was the ruler of the Cretaceous period.
Now, in the last video, it did actually take quite a bit of work to convince the raptors that they needed to attack and kill the Indominus Rex, because raptors actually like the Indominus Rex, even though the Indominus Rex doesn't like anybody. Here, however, we should have no such problems. Although, possibly the Ankylosaurus here is going to have some problems. Although, oh, it's two dead raptors. Might have to breed some more. That was unexpected. Although I did breed the Ankylosaurus for strength and defense, so perhaps not entirely surprising. Might be a different matter if the Tyrannosaurs decide to take a bite. Although, well, you know, an Ankylosaur's club tail is entirely capable of breaking a Tyrannosaur's leg, so, well, we'll see. Getting the raptors and the Tyrannosaurs to fight each other, however, shouldn't be too much of an issue, because neither of them like each other. Although, I've got to be honest, my money is still going to be on the raptors, because they attack in packs. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to need some more raptors, however. Just lost 2. It did take less than a day for the first fight to break out between the Tyrannosaur, or one of them, and the lone surviving Ankylosaur, although that really only resulted in the Tyrannosaur making off with a broken tooth. That same night, when the T-Rex failed, the raptors, because they are incredibly efficient hunters, and they do have the strength of numbers on their side, suffered no such problems. I mean, they took some injuries, but it was no contest, even with only 2. Now the Ankylosaur keeps trying to roll over and crush them, which seems like a good tactic, although so far it's never actually resulted in a kill, and while it's on its back like that, it is incredibly vulnerable. But the raptors just kept at it, and it really was no contest. So now, there's nothing left in this enclosure other than the raptors and the Tyrannosaurs. And the raptors do not like the Tyrannosaurs, and the Tyrannosaurs do not like the raptors. So it should really just be a matter of time. Oh, could this be it already? Or are they just posturing? Ah well. Like I said, it should just be a matter of time. It was a matter of time. A very, very long matter of time. I just didn't get it. I mean, these things hate each other's guts. But the thing about the raptors is that they're not stupid. They might not like the T-Rex, but a single raptor is never going to start a fight with one, because that would be suicide. And the thing about the T-Rex, even though they hate the raptors, even if a T-Rex wanted to start a fight with a raptor, if the raptor didn't want to be in a fight with a T-Rex, it would just run away. And a T-Rex is never going to catch it. So, if any kind of fight is going to happen between these two different species, It's going to be the raptors who initiate something that actually ends up turning into a fight. Because, well, the T-Rex can snarl and roar at the raptors all it likes. It's never going to catch a raptor that doesn't want to be caught. And for some bizarre reason, which is surprising considering how vicious and bad-tempered they normally are, the raptors just weren't interested. I mean, sure, they approach the T-Rex and they bark at it, but then they just run off. Under normal circumstances, the thing that would tend to trigger conflict between different species in the same enclosure was if their comfort levels fell to, well, uncomfortable levels. And that was definitely the case here. These two species really don't like sharing the same space. And yet, well, the raptors just weren't interested. They maintained their distance, wherever possible. But then the thought occurred to me, I did just lose a couple of raptors. Maybe the overall population level of the raptors isn't high enough for them to even consider taking on a pair of tyrannosaurs. So I'm going to have to breed some more raptors. While I was in the process of doing that, however, I kept running into another problem. Neither the raptors nor the tyrannosaurs were particularly happy about the situation, but instead of taking their frustrations out on each other, they kept taking them out on my very, very expensive Ranger Jeeps and MVU armoured treatment vehicles. I mean, I'm running in sandbox mode, so money is not an issue. But it just started to become a massive pain in the arse, replacing the vehicles that I was sending in to treat all of the injuries that the dinosaurs were sustaining from destroying the vehicles that I was sending in to, yeah, you get the idea. So I just stopped replacing the vehicles, which of course means that if any of these creatures get injured, like the T-Rex who just broke a tooth, destroying the MVU there, well, that injury is just going to remain untreated. Now with a broken tooth, that's not such a huge problem. It just means that the dinosaur's stamina regenerates slower than usual. But any serious injuries that result from things like dinosaurs actually attacking each other or breaking something more substantial than a tooth when they wreck the remaining vehicles in the park, well, tough titty, that's just going to be your own damn fault, isn't it? See if I care. But since it seems that raptors only appear to act to the big man when all of their friends are watching, I'm going to have to introduce some more raptors. And these ones, of course, have been specially bred to be evil little gits. Completely maxed out, all of their combat stats. I mean, individually, they're still no match whatsoever for a Tyrannosaur, but, well, that's the thing about raptors. They don't fight individually. Well, they'll fight amongst themselves individually until one of them establishes dominance and keeps it. But they don't fight other species individually. That's their strength. Of course, introducing a bunch of new raptors means that it's fairly inevitable that we're going to have new fights to establish dominance. So we have the old alpha, the green, being challenged for first dibs in the feeding bowl by one of the new raptors, the brown, and the challenge appears to have been successful. I'm not seeing the new brown icon. Oh, there it is. There we go. We have a new alpha raptor. And with 116 dominance, I can't see this one being challenged by any of the other raptors anytime soon. It's possible, I suppose, that minor scuffles and incidents might break out between the other raptors, although none of them are going to challenge this one for dominance, because of pressure exerted by declining comfort levels. You know, if you make them uncomfortable enough, anything can happen. The problem, of course, is that anything can happen. What I want is to make things so uncomfortable in this enclosure that fights break out between the species. Raptors attack the T-Rex attacks the raptors. But what might also happen, because let's face it, raptors aren't stupid, is that they just start trying to climb the walls. And raptors can do that. And if the T-Rex gets uncomfortable enough, well, it might try to attack the raptors, but, well, any raptor that doesn't want to be attacked by a T-Rex just has to run away. And the T-Rex is entirely capable of breaking through the walls. So it is entirely possible that while what I'm aiming for here is Dinosaur Fight Club, what I might end up having is Dinosaur Escape from Stallowclift 13, which would be counterproductive. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. And so I waited. And I waited some more. You know what? I waited a really long time. Sure enough, the T-Rexes kept trying to kill the raptors, and they kept hogging all of the food sources, and the raptors started to get a bit hungry. But, well, any T-Rex that tried to start a fight with the raptor just ran away, and the T-Rex could never catch the little buggers. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to have to start taking matters into my own hands here. So I went ahead and I demolished all of the sources of food in the park, so that the only things they had left to eat were each other. Honestly, I've had to skip around about an hour and a half of predators just growling at each other in order to get to this point, and it just didn't make any sense. I mean, when given half the chance, the raptors had no problems whatsoever slaughtering the Indominus Rex. And they liked the Indominus Rex. They don't like the T-Rex. But I had to starve them into a murderous frenzy in order to finally get some action around here. But eventually, action is what I got. Like I said, my money's on the raptors. Holy shit, look at them go. I mean, you know, they're not going to get away without injury. But I think we have a dead Tyrannosaur. Yep. And actually, the raptors did get away without injury. Oh well, one down, one to go. So how about the other T-Rex? Are you feeling nervous? I'll tell you what. You should be. And I've got to be fair to the raptors. Once they got the taste for some T-Rex meat, they did not waste any time. Also, I might have very, very quickly removed the body of the first Tyrannosaur. You know, just so the raptors stayed hungry. Although what happened next, just a couple of minutes later, was very unexpected. Because I've never seen this happen before. Oh, here it comes, I thought. The rest of the raptors are swarming the last Tyrannosaur. And kind of, but also kind of not. Because it's a lone raptor. Not attacking as part of a pack. And that raptor is injured, and is probably been driven mad with hunger. But, well, still, I've never been that brave. So, that's the first raptor casualty from the Tyrannosaurs. And spoiler alert, it won't be the last. Because this Tyrannosaur, it's almost like it can sense that its days are numbered. The rest of the raptors are circling around. But this one is not going down without a fight. And less than a minute later, a fight is exactly what it got. There was only two of them at first, which may have been a little rash on the part of the raptors. Because with two raptors versus a T-Rex, my money's on the T-Rex. In fact, it's just killed one of them. Grabbed that one by the tail, slammed it into the wall. It's injured, but it's not down, and it's coming back for more. Unfortunately, that was not a good decision. That's 3 dead raptors, but here come the rest. 3 of them this time, and the T-Rex is already injured. This is amazing. So this T-Rex has killed 3 raptors. There are another 3 attacking it, and it's injured all 3 of them. But I think the strength of numbers may be starting to show. Is that going to be another kill? Or is it going to get up and come back for more? Oh yeah, it's not dead. But I think it's only a matter of time. It has killed a 4th raptor. But unfortunately, that was just too much. So, surprisingly, in order to get 2 species of notoriously vicious and bad-tempered predators that hate each other's species, to actually fight each other, you just have to starve them into a murderous frenzy. And then, of course, victorious, but raptors being raptors, the first thing that they do, instead of chowing down on the body of their prey, they immediately start fighting and killing each other. So technically you could say that the T-Rex was responsible for the deaths of 5 raptors before it eventually went down. Well, that's nice. That pretty much concludes our little experiment. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.